CantStopShad back at it with another random reaction Wednesday. I was going to do the Larry Bird greatest passes with re-edited footage, but when I got to the 13-minute mark of the video, my computer just went out and I lost all the footage. Well, I still have the footage, but it's corrupt as hell, so I don't even know if I can even drop the shit. So this video was also recommended me in my past video. You know, I did the Larry Bird Ultimate Mixtape. This video here was also recommended. This is making the case for Larry Bird as the GOAT, man. So I hate that I can't get the Larry Bird Ultimate Pass video out there, but maybe I can fix it, but we'll see. We'll see. But this is still a great video because a lot of y'all in that comment section of that last video will tell me Larry Bird is the GOAT over MJ, over Kareem, over Magic Johnson, over my generation's GOAT, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. This video should be very interesting because they have Larry Bird making his case. So let's check it out, man.
Basketball is special.
Oh, shit.
The size of the court and the lack of pads or helmets give fans the most intimate experience.
The quality is up to par. Is at 1080p HD, man, nothing less out here.
Exists. And because of the different styles that basketball allows for, players develop their own distinct identities and signature styles through their creativity, flair, and athleticism.
What a dunk by DeAndre Jordan.
The scoring volume and two-way nature of the sport give individual stars a nearly unprecedented amount of control over the flow and outcome of a game. For this reason, players are constantly compared to their peers and to
pick up your mans
in order to answer the most hotly contested question in the sport. Who's the greatest to ever do it? For many, the question is redundant. They believe in only one right answer, their answer. Others might have their own personal stance, but acknowledge one or two alternatives. But I believe that there's much more nuance to the question of greatness and more answers to it than you might think. By my count, there are 8 players in NBA history that have a substantial claim as the GOAT. It's a subjective thing, though. I can't give you a definitive answer. All I can do is make the argument.
Let's do it then.
Today, I'll be making the case for Larry Bird as the greatest basketball player of all time.
See what we got, man. Let's see what we got. A lot of y'all should enjoy this one anyway here.
When it comes to basketball, Larry Bird is the smartest, clutchest player to ever play the game. Now, if you don't think that Larry Bird is the greatest basketball player of all time, you probably hate that I just said that.
What the fuck?
Those are the kind of talking head sport cliches that surely impact the game, but are impossible to empirically measure. Normally, I'd agree with you, but I think that when you talk about Larry Bird, you see those intangibles become real, palpable results. I wouldn't have said it if I didn't believe it. When Larry Bird was drafted by the Boston Celtics in 1978, the NBA needed saving. Attendance was in the toilet, the league had few marketable stars, cocaine addiction had several players in its grasp, and
cocaine addiction? I know about baseball and the steroid era shit. The NBA had a cocaine era?
And most damning of all, playoff games were being tape delayed. Playoff games at the highest level of basketball were being put in the back seat for black and white movies and network reruns.
Damn.
But rather than join the Celtics after being taken 3rd overall, Larry Bird decided to return for his final year at Indiana State, a decision that would prove to be one of the most important in the history of the sport. Bird's final year saw the Sycamores tear through college basketball, going 33-0 before the national championship game. Bird, already claimed by the NBA's most historic and prestigious franchise, had established himself as the generation.
I'm sorry, man. I'm still tripping off this cocaine thing you just said. Like, I gotta look that up for myself. I can't believe the NBA is going through a cocaine phase. I'm tripping ain't dead. These niggas just scared. That's crazy.
Who would inherit the mantle of pro basketball. Indiana State's opponent in the national championship was Michigan State, captained by the immortal Irvin Magic Johnson. The Sycamores lost the championship to the more talented Spartans in the highest rated game in the history of basketball at any level still to this day. The stage had been set. The next decade of basketball would be defined by the rivalry between the white hick from French Lick and his Boston Celtics and the black Magic and his Showtime Lakers.
Why you make that sound so racist?
Bird and Johnson is entwined into the fabric of the NBA and is
worthy of
racist 100 documentaries. In this video, though, we're going to be looking at Bird's claim of supremacy. Here's Bird's basketball resume. His 3 championships come with perhaps the highest collective degree of difficulty of any player's championships. His 3 MVPs came consecutively, making him only the 3rd player to accomplish the feat, along with Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain.
I'm about to say, I knew Wilt had to be in there.
Misleading. He was absolutely the best player on the '81 Celtics, but he was only a sophomore, and his 15 points per game in the finals gave the media an excuse to exact a little vengeance on a legendarily difficult interview. His All-Star and first-team selections also come with the caveat that Bird only played for 13 seasons and missed all but 6 games of the '89 season following surgeries on both feet.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I think he said 15 points he averaged in the final. That's gonna disqualify him from most people automatically. I'm gonna listen to that back though.
Making him only the 3rd player to accomplish the feat.
I'm looking it up though.
Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. His 2 finals MVPs are misleading. He was absolutely the best player on the '81 Celtics, but he was only a sophomore, and his 15 points per game in the finals gave the media an excuse to exact a little vengeance on a legendarily difficult interview.
I gotta go look up what exactly we're trying to say on that.
Team selections also come with the caveat that Bird only played for 13 seasons and missed all but 6 games of the '89 season following surgeries on both feet. I can hear
Both feet is tough. Both feet is crazy.
Career. And this guy is supposed to be the GOAT? What color of paint are you huffing, Clayton? Green, obviously. But hear me out. Yeah, Bird's career lasted about 2/3 as long as it should have. But what he did in that time was so impressive and so substantial that every basketball fan acknowledges that he's in the conversation as the greatest ever. Doesn't it matter that those 13 years saved professional basketball, delivered a disproportionate amount of memorable moments, defined the golden age of the league, and produced a career by which all other forwards, before or since, are measured? Bird squeezed every drop of talent out in those 13 years and made it seem more like 30. He didn't just leave his fingerprints on the game. He left so much of his DNA in the sport that it needed a cigarette afterwards. There's something to be said about the candle that lasts half as long but burns twice as bright. Those 3 MVPs
still falling shit.
Any other run,
like I'm watching the other video.
Player. I will put an A+ Larry Bird season up against anyone's. What does an A+ Larry Bird season?
I don't know if that's his best season though. If that's what he's trying to do, I was looking at his stats the other day. I think he averaged like 29.9 one year. I don't know if this is his maybe it's his most efficient season. I don't know what he's trying to do here, but if he's saying that's his best season, that's not. I was looking at it the other day.
What does an A+ Larry Bird season look like? A full box score, a blowout win, a nearly undefeated record at home, and a play style that could only be described one way: white. Larry Bird isn't just a white basketball player, he's the white basketball player. To describe Larry Bird's game is to thumb through the Hoops dictionary and pick out every cliche about white players. Unathletic, great shooter, good fundamentals, the whole thing. The archetype of a white basketball player is Larry Bird, with one exception. He had an unparalleled understanding of the game of basketball, both as a physical contest and as a mental competition. His basketball IQ infected everything he did and catapulted his career into legend. Bird was a complete player. Jerry West called him nearly as perfect as you can get. He was the league's first great marksman. He could contort his body to shoot from anywhere on the court, regardless of the level of defense.
That shit crazy.
He pioneered the art of the dagger 3 and was the founding member of the 50-40-90 club. At 6'9", Bird's understanding of angles and coordination led to a higher rebounding average than Patrick Ewing, and it made him an impressively adept.
Man, y'all been throwing that stat at me like crazy, bro. That he averaged more rebounds than Patrick Ewing. Y'all been throwing me. Y'all been killing my ass in the comments of that last video with that Patrick Ewing stat. Y'all gonna let me know that shit. I wonder y'all getting it from this video right here.
Younger years. 86, Bird dropped 47 points on the Blazers, playing the majority of the game left-handed.
I got to see the foot. I got to see that.
Meant that Bird
I got to see that, yeah.
Slapping the floor and picking up the opposing point guard, but his size and omniscience gave him the ability to body similarly sized players, read defense.
I got to see that Blazers game.
And pick off passing lanes with ease. His passing was transcendent, and I'll highlight it later. And of course, you need to know that Larry Bird was a tough MFer. He had a superhuman motor and dove for loose balls like a beagle at the park. He was a willing participant in his share of fights, often precipitated by his league-renowned trash talk.
Larry told Robert Reedy the other day that he should have stayed in preaching. That was funny. He had 50 points. I was guarding him my rookie year. He looked at me and he goes, "You can't stop me." And I looked at him, I said, gosh, boy, you're so confident. He proceeded to score like 10 straight points on me. The coach took me out the game. He walks by and he's laughing at me.
He was a basketball genius.
He's a savage.
Step ahead, a thought ahead, play the game like a chess game.
I'd much rather guard Michael Jordan than Larry Bird because you have to play the game as a thinker when you're playing him. You have to get inside his mind.
If you put all of us in a room, you know, Magic, Jordan, myself, and Bird probably be the guy who walks out of the room at the end of the day.
Did you notice something?
That's probably one of the greatest compliments I've ever heard Larry Bird get.
The game as a thinker. When
Run
you're
that
playing,
one back.
You have to get inside his mind.
If you put all of us in a room, you know, Magic, Jordan, myself, and Bird probably be the guy who walks out of the room at the end of the day.
Did you notice something during those testimonies? Those are some of the best basketball players of all time, and they all sing Bird's praises like they were former assassins who had to go toe-to-toe with John Wick, and they're just happy to be alive. Bird excelled during one of the most talent-rich periods in league history. The abridged list of his basketball rivals goes like this: Dr. J and Moses Malone on the Philadelphia 76ers, Sidney Moncrief on the Milwaukee Bucks, Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer and the Bad Boy Pistons, Dominique Wilkins on the Atlanta Hawks, Bernard King on the New York Knicks, Michael Jordan on the Chicago Bulls, Hakeem Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson on the Houston Rockets, and of course, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, there's no point avoiding it any longer. We have to look at Magic versus Larry.
Yes,
if
sir.
you have Magic over Larry, it's because he has 5 rings to Larry's 3, had a peak that lasted about 2 or 3 years longer than Larry's, and had a 2-1 record against Bird's Celtics in the finals. Perfectly legitimate, completely respectable arguments. But in the interest of making Bird's case, allow me to retort. For nearly the entire decade of the 1980s, the Eastern Conference was irrefutably the more competitive conference between the two. Considering the competition, for Bird to have made 5 finals appearances is just as impressive as Magic's 9. As for the head-to-head record responsible for Magic's 2 extra titles,
They
he
could
had
throw
more
that.
help.
He throwed that mother. I'm sorry, I know this is a Larry Bird video, but he throwed that hook down there at the free throw line,
The
bro.
Eastern Conference was irrefutably the more competitive conference between the two. Considering the competition, for Bird to have made 5 finals appearances is just as impressive as Magic's 9. As for the head-to-head record responsible
hook,
for
bro.
Magic's 2 extra titles, he had more help. Seriously, the
That was a
Celtics
game winner,
Big 3
too.
and the Lakers Big 3 get compared all the time historically as if they were of equal caliber, but weren't Magic's accomplices just a step above Bird's? No disrespect at all to Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish, but Kareem was the alpha dog on the 71 Bucks and was the best player for at least 2 of the Lakers' 5 titles.
Facts.
James Worthy was the #1 pick out of UNC after winning a championship as the best player on a team that had Michael Jordan on it. Throw in the fact that Magic got to be coached by Pat Riley, one of the most brilliant minds in basketball history, and you could say that the Magic-Bird argument comes down to one thing: luck. So if their careers come down to luck, the question just becomes who you would rather take. Now, I'm not making this video to tell you why you shouldn't take Magic. I'm making this video to tell you why you should take Bird.
Ooh, that
Not just
pat was
over
so
Magic,
nasty,
but over
bro.
everybody.
That pat was so nasty, bro. Look where he
Down
was
to
at when he
luck,
made
the
it.
question just becomes who you would rather take. Now, I'm not making this video to tell you why you shouldn't take Magic. I'm making this video to tell you why you should take Bird. Not just over Magic, but over everybody. One thing that helps him is the fact that his play would translate perfectly into the league today. A 6'9" sharpshooting forward with eyes in the back of his head who averaged double-digit rebounds in an era against Moses and Laimbeer. He'd gobble up boards as a power forward. He'd be an offensive mismatch against everybody as a small ball center, and his off-ball skills and passing would pair perfectly with the flow of today's game. Add in his competitive mania and medical advancements, and we're talking
Love
about
to see
a player
steals
who
like that.
stuck around so long they would have had to rename the league. As you've been watching these clips of Bird, I would hope that you would notice something. He always knows where everybody is. Watching Bird play basketball is like watching those monsters from A Quiet Place that know where you are if you make any noise at all. Bird had a level of clairvoyance that bordered on the unnatural. In '85, he ended up 1 steal away from a quadruple-double after playing just the first 3 quarters. His passing was famously infectious and helped transform the Celtics of the '80s into an ideal that basketball teams at all levels are still shown tape of. They moved the ball with precision and intent, always looking for better shots and determined to get the entire team involved in the effort. That fact is almost entirely attributable to Bird and his wizardry with the ball. This acumen also helped Bird become the only player with a GOAT claim to transition successfully into other basketball roles after his playing career. In his 3 years as the head coach of the Pacers, Bird won a Coach of the Year award, coached the Pacers to their first and only finals appearance, and gave Michael Jordan as much trouble as he'd ever gotten in his career in the '98 Eastern Conference Finals.
Bro, I must have been watching basketball. Then I do not remember Larry Bird as a coach at all. But did he talk about they took Chicago to 7-game series back when he was with Indiana? I thought I'm not going to say what I thought.
Office role for Indiana, he won Executive of the Year in 2012, becoming the only person to have an MVP, Coach of the Year, and Executive of the Year award. On the court or off of it, inside and out, Larry Bird sees basketball as only he can. That intelligence also lent itself to Bird's defining skill, making the big plays. Remember, NBA players get paid to win games. James Harden is getting paid nearly $40 million this year because he's supposed to help the Rockets win games. Victory can be achieved in a lot of ways, and the win column doesn't care how it happens. As Mark Sinclair once said,
"It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning."
But when your team is down 1 in a crucial playoff game with 8 seconds left, and you need to hit a shot to stay in the series and keep your season alive, that's where players really separate themselves and earn their money. Love it or hate it, it's the players that come through in the big moments that live forever in our memories.
Thanks.
Some players, for whatever reason, were never able to do it consistently.
What was that Patrick Ewing layup? I remember that.
Some players were truly outstanding at it. Larry Bird was the best at it. I'm not going to give you the stats about his field goal shooting under 2 minutes with a score that's this close, or tell you who has the most buzzer beaters, or any of that.
Take that for data.
I'm just going to show you clutch moments in clutch situations. 1985 against the Blazers. Bird drops 48 points, including this. Down 1 with 2 seconds left.
Damn. They had everything they wanted.
The Hawks. Bird sets the Celtics scoring record with 60 points.
Larry had what he
shots
wanted.
Like these.
They open the right side. Bird the follow away. He drills it again.
Look at their bench, bro. Look at their bench. I love seeing a bench being demoralized. I love that shit.
Bird sets the Celtics scoring record
I'm
with
so
60
evil, bro.
points,
But I love seeing this shit when a bench be demoralized after something you do. Look at their bench.
1986 against the Rockets. Not all of Bird's clutch moments were singular. The bigger the moment, the bigger his performance. In Game 6 of the 1986 NBA Finals, Bird clinches the championship with a triple-double in what he calls the best game he ever played.
2 seconds on the shot clock. Bird wants a 3 out of it.
1987 against the Washington Bullets. Bird hits one shot to tie it before it's waved off because of a timeout.
Oh,
Shot to tie it
man.
up for real. And then in double overtime, down 1, he does this.
It's gonna go to Bird. He's got a shot. Get it.
He's shooting these all 1 foot too.
For 3 years, from 1986 to 1988, the three-point contest knew no other champion but Larry Bird.
He's still got to drop one here quickly. 14. This is a tie for the money.
Hold that hand up, baby.
1987 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5. Tied at 2 games apiece against the bad boy Pistons, this enormous game would put the winner 1 game away from the NBA Finals. The Pistons are up 1 with seconds remaining. The ball goes out of bounds off the Celtics.
I ain't gonna lie, man. That looked like that was all Larry at the last second. I don't know if they missed one right there, but he threw it off Larry at the last second.
The NBA Finals. The Pistons are up
Watch
1
this.
with seconds.
That he threw that off Larry, bro.
Enormous game would put the winner 1 game away from the NBA Finals. The Pistons are up 1 with seconds.
Well, not Larry, whoever the fuck that is. I don't know who that is.
Remaining.
He threw that out number 12 though.
Isaiah Thomas just needs to inbound the ball to win the game.
Hold it, nigga. And then Dennis Johnson scored the basket on that.
There are truly too many big games and big moments for me to go through without this ending up as a documentary. But that all leads me to this, what I really want to talk about. 1987 NBA Finals, Game 4 against the Lakers. LA is up 2-1, and the Celtics need to win to tie the series and stay alive. Bird hits a 3 with 12 seconds left to go up by 2.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Why would you leave him open? Y'all, why are they doubling everybody? What are y'all doing? Are y'all in the zone?
1987 NBA Finals, Game 4 against the Lakers.
I don't understand defense back then.
Up 2-1.
They in man.
And the Celtics need to win.
They double pairs. Okay, I understand that. Boom. Why did both of them run over here?
Bird hits a 3 with 12.
And lead the best shooter on the court. What are y'all doing? What the fuck are you doing?
Green comes down and gets fouled with 8 seconds left. He makes the first, but misses the second.
Damn.
LA ends up with the ball with 7 seconds left, down 1 point.
Oh, is this the Magic Johnson hook?
Magic hits
Oh,
this.
man.
2 seconds left.
Wait.
Down 1.
Dennis Johnson on the inbound. Bird fires it.
What do you think happens?
He missed it.
I bet it wasn't that.
Yeah.
When I paused the tape and the ball was hanging in the air, you thought it was going in.
Not only because I seen on ESPN.
Magic thought it was going in. I've seen this game before, and I still think it's going to go in. But it didn't. Pat Riley said it himself. We got lucky. And that, a missed shot in the NBA Finals, is why he's the clutchest. Because after he makes the big plays, has the big games, hits the big shots, time and time again, you expect him to hit every shot, to win every game. And in those fleeting moments when he doesn't, when he looks like a mere human, when he looks like everyone else who tries to do what he does, you just can't believe it. That's what Larry Bird did. He made the big plays so often you thought he was going to make them every time. He helped turn basketball into a global phenomenon, paving the way for every Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or LeBron James who comes through our lives.
Facts.
He played basketball in its purest form and captained a team that is consistently ranked among the greatest of all time. He has the second highest win percentage in the history of the NBA, behind Magic by less than 1/2 of 1%,
Damn.
about 10
Let y'all
games.
stone on the floor
He was
like
the
that,
complete
baby.
package, a player with no holes in his game whatsoever. They called him Basketball Jesus. He didn't get that name without doing something extraordinary. He saved basketball, and he did it by playing it better than anyone else. Here's Magic at Bird's retirement in 1993.
Larry Bird said that there will be another Larry Bird one day. And Larry, there will never, ever, ever be another Larry Bird. To the greatest basketball player ever, but more important, a friend forever.
I like that, man.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. This was a really fun video to make, and I'm going to continue to make more of them.
I like that, man. I like that. I think I pretty much covered everything, but that was making the case for Larry Bird. Now, y'all can debate and do all that bullshit which y'all want to do. I don't think I want to address this because I tried to address this in my when I was reacting to his past and stuff. I was trying to address it in the other video. I want to address everything about both eras. But the people that in my era, you know what I'm saying, 20s and up and shit like that there, saying Larry Bird cannot play in this era. I think this video pretty much proved everything you need to know. I don't know. They talking about some, he wouldn't be athletic enough. He had the guys in that era was athletic too. But he figured out ways to get score and average damn near 30 a game. But that's not I think this video pretty much, you know what I'm saying, shut all that down. But for the guys that talk about LeBron can't play in their era, when you are a great player, man, you just find ways to get buckets. D-Wade just was on Shannon Sharp podcast. He was talking about as his body started to age and you started to slow down, you ain't as athletic as you is. He was saying he used to in one dribble, he'd get to the basket and then just dunk on a nigga head. He talking about some as he got older, it was you take one dribble, then get to that jump shot. Then take one dribble, get to the side step. When you're a great player, you find ways to score. Ain't nothing the defender can do to slow you down. So for y'all to say LeBron can't do the same thing he doing now in that era, that's just blasphemy. And to say that Larry Bird can't play in this era is even more blasphemy, bro. So I don't really like that. They talking about LeBron ain't strong enough. If Bill let him go across the head one time, he gonna die and all this type of, bro. I don't like all that because one thing back then in the 70s, you know they fought. They talking some LeBron, he be flopping and he soft. And they saying, so what you think in the 70s and 80s back then when you could fight and they let it ride, most you getting was a technical, you think LeBron ain't gonna throw hands with them niggas? Come on, man. Just you can't do it now because the malice in the palace and all that type of stuff didn't happen. So I don't know why did he getting this soft, you know what I'm saying, this soft stigma attached to him and stuff. But for the people that's from that era, from both eras, y'all gotta let this slide about. You know what I'm saying, guys that are great players, that are great. If you want to say a guy that averages 10, 15 points can't play in the air, okay, fine. But when you are a great player or a great in whatever sport you in, football, basketball, hockey, when you are a great player, you won't find ways to score. You're going to adjust to what needs to be done to get the job done, bro. So I just don't like that. Hope this video put my generation puts to bed about Larry Bird. And hopefully just me talking sense to y'all niggas can help it to stop the LeBron's talk. They're talking about that he ain't tough enough to play in the 70s and 80s. He probably somebody average 10 points a game. Dennis Rodman got. Hopefully that all that stuff get put to bed. But y'all can drop it down there what y'all think below on this making Larry Bird the ghost case. I couldn't get that past video out there for y'all. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see if I can fix the footage, but I really doubt it. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Y'all drop it down there what y'all think though on this video, man. It's your boy CantStopShad, bitch. Check out here today though, baby. Let's get it.